Sundays. Happy
Look at your
Sundays, it's us.
cute little background you chose. So
I know. I
festive. Love
tried.
that.
I wish I had like, I don't know. I guess all of my like, I love wearing antlers.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
I don't know where any of those are. Probably my mom's house.
Oh.
And all my Christmas stuff is downstairs. I would show you. I do have a lot of nutcrackers though.
Mm.
I do collect nutcrackers.
That's
So
fun.
I do have a lot. Some people are scared of them, so that can be.
Oh no, I think that's fun.
I buy a new one every year.
That's cute.
Yeah, but at least I have like some of my Christmassy things.
Good. And I mean, there's 2 wrapped presents in here for you. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. One's from your birthday, so.
Well, I'll
but
be
they're
ready to give you yours when I see you if my family can make any decision.
Yeah,
and if not,
let me know.
Well, I'll just have to head there on my own.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just go eat pizza. It'll be great.
Ah, yes. It'll be great. And donuts.
Yeah, of course.
And go second and Charles. That's all I need.
The classics, yeah. Just those spots, the end.
And then us laughing a lot. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's that time of year we talk about our favorite reads of the year. Before we do that, we have to talk about where we bought some of our favorite reads of the year. Our lovely sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your books up to 50% off.
Sometimes more.
And if you spend $50 and you live in the United States, what happens, Kristan?
Oh, you get free shipping.
What?
And it's not just any free shipping. I'm telling you. You know, 'tis the season, so I've ordered a lot of things from a lot of different places. Things I can't get from InStockTrades.com, as in like non-book related items. And when I get these boxes, I've gotten boxes with holes in the side and nothing inside is in plastic. I don't have to worry about that with IST boxes. They're very sturdy. I've reused them a lot to gift things. It's just the best. The best. Check them out.
Well, good morning, everybody. Yes, I love the Christmas emojis. Hello, Mark.
Cute.
Hi, Hayden.
Hey.
Got a box of IST yesterday with a hole punched to the side of the box, but the books were fine.
Beautiful. Yeah, because like people are kicking boxes right now. But like you don't have to worry about it.
You heard of Christmas July, man. I'm about to get July and Christmas. Hey.
Nice.
July's when my birthday is, so honestly, I like Christmas all year. I think that's why I'm a big fan of You Got Me. That's my favorite movie. I think part of the reason is it covers so many holidays in there. So it can count as a Christmas movie. Mary.
Hey, Mary.
So we have our list. I will give a caveat that we are not surrounded by our physical copies of the books. Part of that reason is, for some of us, I don't own many of these.
I don't own several of these as well. So, whoops.
Because we're library hoes here.
That's right. That is so right.
So what can you do?
Yeah.
But we will do our best to go one by one and talk about them.
Yeah. I also must ask, are yours in an order or are we just going through these?
Random.
Good, because I also did not place them in an order yet.
I go through, I write down all the ones I gave 5 stars, and then I just slowly start taking them out.
It's kind of what I did. Yeah, pretty much.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know if this should be fine. And then
Yeah. I must give 2 caveats for myself. One, I intend to still keep reading the rest of December. So it's possible something could dethrone
for sure.
one of my reads. And if that's the case, you will see that updated version that I'm doing with my dad that I promised him I would mention on the show. Larry's Library, we are doing a half and half top 10. So half of it on his channel, half of it on my channel. The first one's coming out. You just texted me. Hold on. Let me make sure I got this right. The 3rd on Tuesday on his channel. So again, if mine is updated, which very well could be, you'll see it on there and you'll see them in order. So if you're curious about those things, check them out there.
I mean, we're reading 3 things next week. There's no telling. Gideon Falls could take it.
So
right?
True.
To Strip the Flesh could take it.
Yep.
She-Hulk by Dan Slott could take it. Who knows?
So true.
Also, Jess, if you have She-Hulk by Dan Slott, you want to come over? You want to come on the show?
Yeah, specifically, I think there's like more in this than we're reading, unless you want to read the whole darn thing.
Issues.
But yeah, the first 12. She-Hulk 2004.
Is fine.
Yeah.
That'll be on. I don't know what you're doing Christmas Day.
Yeah, well, we got to plan a time because I'll be out earlier, but then I'll come back later. So
yeah, I've confirmed that I'm free anytime after I'd say 1 or so.
Okay, I think that's probably what it'll be for me. So we'll figure that out.
Okay. All right. So I'm happy to start it off. If you
Yeah,
want.
absolutely.
Number one, even though it's not finished, but I
So
really,
not
really
actually
liked
number
it.
one.
What?
Did
Oh
you
yeah,
pick a number
sorry.
one?
The first
Okay.
one. The
Okay.
first one.
Just clarify.
I had to make a numbered list, so I knew I picked 10.
Got it.
All right. So the first one, Nice House on the Lake. Now, it's not
Nice.
finished. It's the second trade. I read the first trade.
I don't think the second trade's out yet.
Okay. I loved that. But
Yeah.
that, I mean, like, Nice House on the Lake, it's about these friends who are invited over to go to a cabin. Or not cabin, but like this nice house, like vacation weekend. But then they realize that basically the apocalypse is happening everywhere else around them except for where they are. And they can't leave. And they're stuck there. And they don't really know what that's going to mean for them. And I love that type of story so much. It feels like an HBO show that would absolutely kill. The ratings would be so great.
Please make that happen. Like,
it would be wonderful. Like,
so good.
It would work so well. And then there's a bigger picture, bigger mystery of their friend / benefactor in a way that brought them there and what he is and what his intentions are and what it's going to mean for them. And, you know, you've got 6 people in there. You're all going to go, or you're going to lose your minds while you're in there. I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited for the rest. It checked off all my boxes. It was an easy 10 out of 10. Oh, okay. We'll end with number 2. Oh, that's even better. I love
James
that.
has all the info. Thank you, James. Yeah, that's going to be great because it'll be perfect. 2 trays. And then, you know, hopefully there will be a nice hardcover. It's going to collect all of it. I would absolutely.
It better be. I want it to be deluxe.
Yes.
I don't want a dust jacket, and I want it to have some sort of like feeling on the. I want it to feel like like that nice Jeff Lemire book you have. I want something shiny on it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
But yeah, that's my first pick.
Also, yeah, they're saying they're waiting for the hardcover. Yeah, I haven't bought it yet, and I will absolutely buy it if that's the case.
I agree. It's definitely great for non-comic readers because it reads like a show. It reads like you're watching a show. It feels very like palpable, the whole thing. And that's not easy to do.
I agree. And you know why I agree? It's also on my list.
What? Yeah. I love when we get the same ones. It fills me with so much joy.
Yes. So, I mean, well, and we read it together. How great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice House on the Lake. I'm so excited for volume 2. I feel it's one of those books too. I want to like make everyone I know read it.
Absolutely. No question.
Know? And I don't even have it, so it's kind of hard to do that. So
we're both gonna wait for the hardcover.
I'm gonna have it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And that's rare for me too. I read that from Hoopla and or maybe the library. I don't know, one of the two. But I mean that is the library. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But I usually don't. I gotta say, I usually do not go and want to buy the thing after that.
Yeah, and I want it for sure.
And I definitely will absolutely get a hardcover of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on my list.
All right.
We did it.
Do you want to read your next one, I
guess? Okay. We're gonna go with Maze Book by Jeff Lemire, of course. I went on and on about this one. Maddie, you gotta read it.
I know I
read
do.
It. You're gonna love it, but
I need a Jeff Lemire poster thing, so I remember what I read and what I haven't.
Yeah. We could read that together next year. I'll read it again.
Oh, and it could go in our bracket. We're going to tell you guys about my idea at the end of the show.
Yeah,
next year.
Yeah, next year we'll read Maze Book.
Imagine March Madness, but it's
a good idea.
Our books for the year. So we'll make a little game and involve you guys and stuff. So
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
It'll be awesome.
So stick around.
Yeah, everyone's waiting for that. But yeah, Maze Book, of course, was one of my favorite reads of the year. It was so good. Oh, awesome! The top 10, yeah, top 3. You know what? I'd say you're probably right, as like for me as well. And I love so much Lemire that's a high bar, but at least in my top 10, Lemire.
Yeah,
maybe top 5. Top 5. I'm dying today. But yeah, Maze Book is so great. It's about, for anyone who doesn't know already, a lot of people have probably read it, and if you haven't, read it in 2023. Make it a goal for yourself because it's such a fast read. It has so much heart, classic Lemire in that fashion, right? It's about a dad who lost his little girl. She passed away, and one night he gets a phone call that's supposedly from her. So then he's like losing his mind trying to figure out what is going on. She loved puzzles. The whole, like, the panel work throughout it incorporates puzzles and interesting things. It is such a beautiful piece of work in every part of the medium. It is what a comic book should be, and I adored it. So,
okay,
absolutely on my list.
Well, this one's going to feel very different than the last two books. My second pick is Magical Boy. Now, I haven't read the second volume yet, but there was something so special about that book for me reading it that I loved. It's a young adult graphic novel. I don't know if it'll hit as much for some readers if you haven't grown up reading manga, or like you're not aware of that, like the magical girl genre. It's a spin on that. It's very interesting and very well done. And the art's very cute. But this guy is a trans boy. His mother was a magical girl. He finds out because there's a transformation. There's the typical thing. There's an animal. It's like, you're the magical girl. And he's like, no, I'm not. And when he transforms into like a magical girl. And it's this big fight of like owning up to his kind of calling. But that also kind of interfering with his like dysphoria and having to also come out to his mom more clearly, but this is not me. Like, I'm not this. And then eventually towards the end of the first volume anyways, he's able to kind of combine those two identities in ways that like really does suit him, and it helps him feel empowered. But it was so good. And because Sailor Moon meant so much to me when I was younger. And so to read something like this, I thought was very well done. I need to get the second volume, but so good. I think it's more of a graphic novel playing on manga tropes. Yeah. So you don't have to read right to left. So you could read it. One day we'll get you on the manga train.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
We gotta figure that out for sure.
You gotta at least read My Lesbian Experience of Loneliness. Like that's like required reading.
Yeah.
And I almost put some of her books on here for this year because I read a bunch of hers at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't quite match like what the bit, because it's similar to what it was before. They're still very good.
Sure.
But like if you've heard me talk about those books, you'll know that I love the other books the same. There's no difference. But yeah.
It's funny, Magical Boy is not on my top 10. However, it is on my top 20. So like it's on the list that I did narrow down in front of me. Yeah, it's so good. I also haven't read volume 2. I have it. So I'm planning to read that. Yeah, we could do that for absolutely. We'll put that in a video. I think that'll be great. Because I really liked it too.
Everyone's got to read it. Oh, you loved it?
There we go.
You got to read the rest of her books. And she also does one about her like alcoholism that was really good. The wedding one was okay. And then the Solo Exchange Diary is really good. I just feel like God, I could do a whole show just talking about her and then talking about the wider issues of mental health issues in Japan and stuff. Oh, everybody should read it. Drunk with Fury, I think you'd like it. It's fun.
It is great.
It's fun in a weird way. Like it shouldn't be, but it feels so brutally honest. It's so
right. Good. Yeah. Anyways, it's just really well done. I agree. Let's see what my next book. I feel like you maybe read this or you at least know about it, but it's Better Place.
It was on my top 20.
Okay.
I was going to put it in my top 10 and I just wasn't sure.
I love that. I love that we have, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Better Place got up there for me. I read that early in the year, but it stuck with me.
Did we not read that together?
Did we not? Did we?
I thought we did.
Oh, maybe we did. I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe we did. Girl. I don't know.
Who knows? That was so long ago.
Yeah, probably we did then. Yeah, it should have been on the bracket, right? We could have figured that out. But yeah, I loved it. It was just so good. Again, one of those stories that gets in your heart and like stays in your head. At least it did for me. And
oh, absolutely. When any story about grief or anything, that is
Better Place turned me into a fountain. That's a great way to put it, Max. Like,
and that won awards this year too. I was so proud. I remember being really proud of him. Like,
yeah, that's awesome. And the art's amazing. And it's one of those one and dones, y'all. So if you haven't read it, check it out.
Absolutely. But yeah, it was up there. It was like 14. So I don't know.
Okay.
Not that. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't rank them, but it was there.
Yeah. Love that.
Okay. So the next one, no surprise, Across a Field of Starlight.
Mm-hmm.
By Blue Delaquanti. Because I read that and Meal this year. I love Across the Field from Starlight. I love it. I keep recommending. I know it's not everybody's like 10 out of 10, but it reminded me a lot of reading Tilly Walden's On a Sunbeam. I love those like kind of like a sci-fi epic, right? Sci-fi fantasy epic, but it's not done the way it would normally be, like a female gaze of one.
Yeah.
You know, and I really loved it. I loved all the politics about being yourself and how to deal with this and how to be self-sufficient and like what different societies do and how that affects people's like well-being and how they treat others. I love that book. I love that book so much. I don't know how I don't own that. So I guess I checked it from the library.
That's what I did.
I need to start buying books that I've read that I love instead of just buying new books. I'm like, oh, I'll get it later.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I do the same thing. I do exactly the same thing.
Because I want to make a list of like, here's the books I definitely want in my library.
Mm-hmm.
And then like really flesh those out.
There's a good goal for your 2023. Yeah. I do the same thing though, because I'm like, oh, this is new and I haven't read it, so I can get it and read it.
Yeah. I know.
Absolutely get it.
But yeah, I love Blue Delaquanti. I think they're great, and I love Across the Field to Starlight. So
yeah, well, I agree. That's wonderful, and it made my top 20. So I love that. Like we're just exchanging. And it was up there for a bit, and then I found some other things, and I was like, well, I have to move it, and I second guessed myself.
I always do this with an hour of the show to see what I'm feeling like at the moment, and that's so hard. I wish. Yeah. One thing I wish I had done was write more detail in my reviews so I remember exactly what I liked or didn't like about a book.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I'm like, this was so great. Thanks, Maddie.
Yeah. I'm planning to try to do that next year, like with my own, at least in my own personal like things for it, make little notes and stuff. We'll see how that goes. I'm usually good at like doing that for like the first week or so of January, and then I'm like, I'm done.
We'll be doing this again, have the same conversation next year.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I have Cinnamon on my list, and if you recall that book, it has the little cat on the cover with like the big burly cat that's like standing up with like a bat. And so the whole book is about this little cat, but like in her head, she's this burly badass cat, riding a motorcycle and like doing all these things. So like, she'll be walking across the counter. There'll be like these cups that she has to like avoid. And they're actually dynamite in her head. So it'll show like her head sequence. It kind of reminded me of like Rugrats, but for like this cat, right? Because they're all like on these grand adventures, but they're really just playing in a box, right?
Yeah.
And it was exactly the same. And I'm like, I feel like my cats are probably thinking that. It was just so fun and different. Cute. And I really loved it. So Cinnamon's great.
It's a good choice.
Thanks.
My next pick is Flung Out of Space, inspired by the indecent adventures of Patricia Highsmith. I love this book. I'm gonna do that thing. I think it was Hannah Templar.
I still need to read that. I'm writing this down, Maddie. This is my homework for next year from you.
Let me pull up the wiki. So it's been a while, but I want to talk about this properly. Yeah, it's by Grace Ellis and Hannah Templar. Hannah Templar did and is continuing to do Cosmo Nights, which we loved and continue to love. But this is about this best-selling author, Patricia Highsmith. She wrote The Price of Salt, which is considered to be an essential lesbian novel. It's done so well, and it's really interesting. I mean, it's a true thing. I mean, they add some flavor to it. But it's just really good. Like, and they don't skirt around the issue. Like, she's not always an easy person to like. She's not a perfect figure, but she is like an essential, like, she's a part of like lesbian literature history, and it's really good. And plus, I mean, the art, I love Hannah Templar's art so much. Oh, I can't wait for Cosmo Nights.
Oh, it'll be so good.
I can't wait.
Next year read.
I'm so glad I picked that up randomly to Half Price Books.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this seems cool. And I was like, oh my God.
It was so good.
Oh, I want to cosplay from that so bad. And then no one would know.
That'll be great.
But yeah, Flung Out of Space. I think it's a really great read. I think it's like if I might next time I make a hidden gems video, I might throw that one in because I think it is like a one you wouldn't pick up right away and you wouldn't notice somewhere, but it's really good.
Yeah, I like Grace Ellis a lot too, so
Yeah.
I need to read that. Let's see. I put Clementine book 1 in my top 10.
I almost did. I almost
love
did,
how we were like,
and I was like, okay, is it in here just because I love Clementine so much, or is it in here because I don't know. It was
loved
close.
it.
It was like
I loved it.
It was at like 11, and I was like, I don't know.
I get it.
But I think you'll see as I go through here why.
Absolutely. Well,
but I was close.
And this was one of my most anticipated reads of the entire year.
Oh, absolutely.
And it totally exceeded my expectations. I thought it was a really great story.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm so excited for book 2. So excited. I think it's going to be the year of like Tilly Walden books. I'm so stoked for. We got book 2 of Clementine. We have Junior High about Tegan and Sarah by Tilly Walden. I am thrilled for that. Like,
I can't believe she blessed us like this. You know?
I know.
Man, I want to meet Tilly so bad.
I know. It'll be
one day.
So good. We'll do it one day. It'll be great.
But yeah, I thought Clementine was great, and honestly, I thought it was. It's. We heard people who hadn't read or hadn't played Walking Dead Telltale games still really enjoyed Clementine. Like you don't need it to understand all that she's going through in that book. Because in its core, it's more of a post-apocalyptic story, like a lonely story, than it is like a zombie story, which is when it's a good zombie story.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's absolutely about the humans involved and everything she's been through and continues to go through, and they do a good job of like flashing back to things that happen in the game, so you don't have to like have that knowledge. Is it more fun if you've had that knowledge? Probably, because those games rule, but like
so good,
I
wish we lived closer so we could just play them. Just take a day. Just cry a lot.
Yeah. Just be really sad, big sad choices. That'll be great.
All right. So my next pick, this one was really, really important for me. It really meant a lot. It won't be a book for everybody, but it was essential for me. And that is My Brain is Different, Stories of ADHD and Other Developmental Disorders. This is a manga anthology. It's all the same artist, but she's taking different stories that were sent into her and illustrating it. And this book just resonated with me a lot. One, because I have ADHD and potentially something else. Not sure yet. But also because I've studied a lot of, I spent a lot of my academic career studying like mental health in Japan. Like that's something really passionate for me to see how that's treated differently, how that develops into different things. And also like how different people's perceptions affect those people's lives every day. And then comparing it how it is here. But the more I read stuff like that makes me feel seen, and to read it in a manga form makes me feel even more seen. And I think if you have an ADHD person in your life, or an autistic person in your life, or somebody who has any developmental disorders, I think it's worth taking a read to kind of understand what those people go through. I even lent it to a friend because she's like, I think my daughter might have ADHD and I'm not sure. And I was like, well, here's a bunch of videos you can watch, but also if you want something that's kind of a different way to learn that information, I think reading it through a manga it can be very helpful and a very easy, accessible way to kind of learn people's like issues, I guess. Because like TV is not going to. It's very unlikely it's going to do it the right way to show you. But loved it. I think everyone should. I loved it so much. It's one of my favorite.
I wrote it down. Books. I'm going to read it.
I'd be so happy.
Absolutely. I love stuff like that too. Like any like nonfiction in that form.
Oh yeah.
That can teach you about something too. Like.
And Japan's killing it with that lately. Like really just like easy manga.
Which is very cool.
Mm-hmm. That's like all the autobiographical stuff is so good. Like I still need to read X Gender. I saw it at Just Beth. I almost bought it.
I have it. We should read it next year together.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That and then one that don't buy it because you might end up with it as a present. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you for sure not. But there's like one about it's like loving your body and stuff. It's really good.
Cool.
So, but if you see something like that, just wait till after Christmas in case that's something that you get.
Okay, got it. I haven't bought anything, so
okay, good.
We're good. Let's see. Speaking of great nonfiction comics, Everything is Okay by Debbie Tung. Oh my gosh, Maddie,
I want to read it.
You have to read it. It's so good. It is about her dealing with depression, and it's something she hadn't struggled with until these events happened. And it's done in such a good way. I've loved everything ever she's put out, and this was just so freaking good. It hit me immediately. It was just like, this is wonderful. It's one of those too. Like, I feel like if you have anyone in your life or you're dealing with it yourself, like, this is great for you to read. Or if you don't know anything about it and you just want to learn more, or you just want a really great story, like the way she does it, it's just so good. It's so good.
I want to read
and
so bad.
I need to buy it because I got it from the library, and I'm like, I need to own this now because it's wonderful.
Maybe we'll buy a bunch of this stuff for it, Second Charles.
We should.
I shouldn't, probably.
Well, yeah, but we should.
It's fine.
If you're here, you have to buy things with me. That's kind of the rule.
Know.
Like, then I have to buy things, and you have to buy things, and it's a thing.
It's great.
Yeah.
My next pick is The Me You Love in the Dark.
Yeah.
I loved that book. And it's so short, but like,
so good.
Like I love a weird monster love book for sure. And I love a book that basically is about unhealthy relationships and how you don't recognize that it's unhealthy right away and how they develop. And to do that by a weird Lovecraftian monster you fall in love with in the new Gothic house you bought. Perfect. I love that book. I'm sad that it's only one volume, but I also think it should be.
Right. Yeah.
But and the art was fantastic.
It was great.
Oh, it is. I got it at Target because Kristan had it, and so I went out. I saw her the next day. I went to Target with my aunt, and then I bought the Groker.
Yeah, I was like, this was in the kids section at Target.
Oh my god, it's such a nice rug. It's like
it is nice. It's really nice. It's a good one.
I wish they should make more stuff like this so I can just have all cheesy kid rugs in my house.
Give me more cute rugs. Love that.
Oh, it's so disturbing.
Good for
you.
Nice.
Proud of you. Hit it.
All right. You know what? This is one I have nearby. So I'm just going to grab it just because I have it nearby.
Yeah.
But that is The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott by Zoe
also want to
Thorogood.
read that, and I want us to read their other book.
Yes, me too. Maybe we should just do a whole Zoe Thorogood episode where we
hell yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah, because I'm really looking forward to that. But it's so good. What is there to be said that I haven't said before? Billy Scott's has an impending blindness. She's an artist, and she's dealing with a lot, and she decides, you know what? I'm going to make these 10 paintings before I go blind, go out and meet people and do these like portraits of them. And it's about that journey, and it's so freaking good. It's just so good. Reed made me read this, and I'm glad he did because it's wonderful. This was his top of the year. So
nice. I'm so excited to read it.
Yeah, it's great.
Next is Asadora.
Nice. Love that.
It was great. I love a Naoki Urasawa book. And I think, I feel like he gave me something that is even closer to what I like, which is like having a kind of a spunky girl protagonist. Naoki Urasawa was like, hey, you like my books? I was like, fuck yeah, Naoki Urasawa. I love your books. Of course. Monster's going to be in my top 10 until I'm dead in the ground. On Netflix, everybody. January 1st. Anyways. Love this. It's found family. Spunky girl. Planes. Kaiju. And we got more of like historical, older Japan. Love it.
It's wonderful. It was hard for me to not put that on my top 10 too, but it didn't quite make it, but I loved it too. Loved it.
So good.
Life of Melody. I feel like I've talked about this one a lot this year. And I know, again, it's one of those I'm also like, Maddie, you're going to love those.
We need to say each other our list so we know.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should. I'm making little notes for yours I haven't read. Okay. So Life of Melody is about those two. One's like an elf guy. Bad. The other one's like a beast guy. Yes. They find a baby in the woods, and they fight over who's going to take this baby. So they're finally like, okay, fine, we'll raise this baby together, even though they hate each other. So, and of course, hijinks ensue, and it's just so lovely. It is so much like, you know, a trope at this point, right? But like,
oh yeah, I don't
it's
care.
lovely. I love the art. It was such a good story, and it's just absolutely. I read that early in the year, and it stayed in the top 10 because it's so fun and wonderful.
My next pick is what I wrote with Jessica, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That's a perfect DC book. It's a perfect DC book. The art is incredible. I love that it's Supergirl on her own, hanging out in space. It kind of reminded me of reading like Jason Aaron's Thor, because you get a lot of him doing his own thing and like, you know, in Norse mythological lands, right? And so similarly, you've got Supergirl really being on her own, being on planets that are not touched by everybody else, and her dealing with like, it's her 21st birthday. She just wants to go out somewhere where she can drink, because she flies really far away from the sun, right? She wants to get drunk and do like a real normal thing. And she gets into some adventures there with creatures, like real alien creatures, like ones you wouldn't expect to see, you know, like really get diverse. So it'd be like a sci-fi fantasy, like this is it. And she just looks so cool. This is what I need to buy it, because I love this. And honestly, if they ever make like an oversized, forget about it. Oh, or poster portfolio of any of these covers, because it's all vintagey looking. I love that style, because it reminds me of like old sci-fi movies where like they like were playing the future, but everyone's still styled in the same hairstyles of like the period, you know, the time period. So she's kind of got the curled, kind of almost like Betty Page pinup-y hair. Like that book is so good. You know, like when he does it. You know, like when he kills it, he kills it. So good.
I feel like you said it, or maybe someone else did, but if I liked Supergirl being super, I'd probably like this.
Oh yeah, you will, no question.
Yeah, so I'm planning to read that next year for sure.
And it doesn't even like, you don't even have to know Supergirl to like the book.
Yeah, like, love that.
I want to read again. I might do that during my rest week.
Yeah, read something that'll bring you joy. That's what you need.
Just more Junji Ito.
yeah, exactly. People's skin falling off. You're like, yeah,
joy. Comfy.
What a hug.
I'm becoming a snail. Oh, this is so
lovely. Nice. I love that. You know what? I did put Gideon Falls, the first hardcover, on my list.
I almost did, but I was like, should I read the second one first?
Well, and we're reading it next week now, right?
Okay, so if we decide on Tuesday, then I'll adjust.
Well, yeah, and maybe I'm like, oh, I hated that ending, and then it's off my list. Who knows? We'll see. But as of right now, just that first half.
Man, it's so good.
I loved it so much, and I was like, I can't not put this in there. It's bonkers in a great way. It's just so like, and all the characters, like you just like care about these characters because Lemire makes you care about the characters all the time, even if they're evil and bad. I'm just like, yes, I'm in. So I'm looking forward to the end of that journey for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it probably would have ended up here if we already read the second one.
Yeah.
Next one is one that other people have read before I did, but I read for the first time this year. Heartstopper, because I hadn't read it before this year.
Yeah.
Because I watched the show. I was in a downbeat, and the show like brought me all the way up. It gave me exactly what I needed. And so I read all the comic book. Loved it. 10 out of 10. Such a cute story. So well done. There's so many queer stories that don't do the nuance the same way, and bisexual like representation done very well and with a lot of respect. So I love that. I mean, you all know it's good. I don't tell you, it's
great.
It's a romantic thing, and they get together earlier, and I love that. I hate the will they won't they and people breaking up. I don't want to read that anymore. I want people to be together.
Yeah, and I don't want the book to end when they're together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop doing that to me. Let me have some of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. That's a great choice. And my final choice, I guess, is Oliver Tree versus Little Ricky Alien Boys. which is ridiculous, but I did fall in love with Oliver Tree this year, and I read the comic, and I adored the comic. I think it's great for any fan. If you're not a fan, I don't think you'll be interested.
I still know nothing. I know nothing of this person.
Maddie,
I had never heard the name until you brought it up.
I want you to continue to know nothing until we hang out, and will you please let me show you who he is?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course.
I would love to do that.
That
love
sounds better.
Okay, love it. We will like eat sushi or something or pizza and watch YouTube.
Live here.
No,
but every day we just share the things we love.
How great would that be?
Imagine you could come over and I'd be like, "Let me show you this video. 5 minutes at Freddy's."
I love it
more because the movie's gonna come out,
and I'm like, okay.
Well, Matthew Lillard's gonna be in it.
I mean, love him.
And Josh Hutcherson.
So fun. They're just like, let's bring all these boys from the 90s back. You're like, I'm here for this. Yeah. Love that.
My last pick is Black Paradox.
Oh, nice.
It was really good.
It was.
It was a good Ito book, and it was an anthology. It was nice to have a new Junji Ito that was like a one story the whole way through, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought that book was beautiful, and I loved it. It had glitter on it. Yeah, I'm a simple woman.
I get it. Yeah. It was shiny, and you picked it up. It also has a good texture, right? It's like soft texture. Soft, yeah.
But I thought it's just a cool. It was a very different story. I really enjoyed it, and I thought and the art was so improved. Just a big fan.
I agree. It was great.
So that's my top 10. I had other things on here, and like Better Place, 10. Like we talked about.
Right.
I deleted the rest of it so I wouldn't have to get confused.
I get it.
Best novel, my favorite novel of the year, which is typical because I also read a lot of Grady Hendrix, and I loved all of those pretty much, except for Southern Club for Slaying Vampires or whatever.
Yeah.
So putting those aside, because I didn't think about them before I sat down. Evelyn Hugo. Evelyn Hugo is my favorite book of the year that I've read.
I love that. It's on my list for next year. Oh, it's absolutely, I'm going to make it happen. You listen to the audiobook, yeah?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Okay. Because I
would recommend it.
I'm on the list. So good. That's how I'm going to do it.
The worst comics.
I am working on that list, Jessica. Just
really?
So you know. Yeah. I am planning that video out.
Man,
I feel like most people won't do that, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be great.
I always forget because I think I block it out if it's really bad.
I have them on my Goodreads, so
that's...
I happily throw that 2 or 1 star at them. I'm like, forget you.
Man, have I given anything less? Let's see.
Yeah, you're really good at liking most things. I'm not.
I thought Money Shot was fine. It's not really a bad thing. I just thought it was okay. I gave that Yuri anthology Syrup a 2.
I wanted that to be better. I think I gave it a 3, but I'm not.
I did give one of the Five Nights at Freddy's books a 2, but to be fair, they're not good books. That's not why I'm reading them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just not anything. Whatever. Listen, I was not going to read that. I'll tell you right now, it's the worst read of the year. I didn't read it.
I will read it, Hayden, and it'll probably land on my list next year when I read it. But I struggle through the Buffy.
Bonus top 5 prose.
That's also something I'm working on. But I have a feeling everyone knows my number 1 choice.
Did we read that this year?
I did. I read it twice this year.
If I read it back this year, then yeah.
Yeah, I read that back in March, and then a month ago.
Oh, then maybe.
Yeah.
That getting the 9th for sure. Where? Come on, Goodreads. Show me my Grady Hendrix so I can remember which ones I like the most. The Final Girl Support Group. If I had to rate, it's Evelyn Hugo and then Final Girl Support Group. Unless I read Delilah Green this year, and then that 1 second.
You definitely read Delilah Green this year.
Okay, then that 1 second.
Because you read it after me.
Okay. And then We Sold Our Souls, which is another Grady Hendrix.
I need to read. I've been wanting to read.
I'm glad my mom died.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So good.
Yeah. It's so good. It's going to be my top for sure.
Yeah. And all the Ice Point Barbarian books. Oh, Jessica, I've got to tell you about this book I picked up at Joseph F. I picked it up because it's called The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. Yeah. I picked it up because the cover has a barbarian looking girl on it. She is sent to she has to be sent to marry this human prince, but her clan's like, kill him and free us. And she's like, okay, so I'm gonna do. She gets there, but the prince is super nice. He doesn't want to fight. He's a nice guy. But the sister, that's going to be an issue because she's devastatingly beautiful, as it says on the inside of the book. So they're going to fall in love. I just knew nothing. I just picked this up because it looked cool. Very excited. James is 5 books on his top 10. Batman White Knight, Empty Eyes by Diego Agrumbao, DC vs. Vampires, Step by Blaze Step, which we need to read next year. Reckless Destroy All Monsters. Yeah, because I have both those written on our to read, James.
Cool. And White Knight's great.
Starsky Daredevil, Thompson Black Widow, Maze Book, Supergirl Woman Tomorrow, Nice House, Wind. Wind is all.
Oh yeah, Wind.
Delicates.
Those? Delicates, nice.
Is there a Sporty Spice book?
I did read that. Yeah.
Really?
I listened to it. Yeah, yeah. It came out this year. I really liked it. I think I gave it a 4. It may be in my top, but I will say if you listen to the audiobook, it's too long. Like the beginning, and maybe this is my own issue. The beginning, there was too much of her beginning of her life and the family life and blah blah. And I understand you're writing a memoir and you have to establish that. It took about 2 hours to get into the Spice Girl stuff, but when it got into the Spice Girl stuff, it was so good. I got details I didn't know about. Even how they formed the original member, Michelle. Who was she? It was so good and fascinating, and I do recommend it if you want some Spice Girl stuff. Yeah.
Best and worst cast member of the Circle in 2022. I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be the best cast member of the new one. Shoop Bomb's coming back.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's
That's
gonna
fun.
be in the Circle singles.
Okay.
So.
We're looking forward to that. But I mean, I can tell you the best is the Spice Girls. Yeah, come on.
No. Jessica, this keeps happening to me. I walk through a bookstore and I'm like, this looks really cool. And then we'll look up the author, and I didn't because I was too distracted. I just heard an "oh no" from Ellie. Well,
I mean, at this point, you can't return it.
I already got it.
So, what are you going to do? You didn't know. What are you going to do?
I didn't know. Best TV series of 2022.
Oh.
We both like She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's...
there's so many. Willow. Man, it's TV series are so hard because so much happens throughout the year.
Right. That's hard.
And I don't have a good way to track it. I don't know.
I wish there was I still want a Letterboxd for TV because I would use that so much more. Because I don't even touch my Letterboxd account, I need... Maybe that exists now and I don't know about it. Mighty Ducks Season 2. I loved it.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
I loved it.
Severance on Apple TV. So good. Oh, yeah, League of Their Own. Sorry. League of Their Own. Paper Girls. Which we're getting more of. Man, yeah, there's no way. Heartstopper.
High School.
Oh,
High School's amazing. Yeah. Hope it gets season 2.
Yeah, there's no way. Oh, man, Arcade 81. But the podcast, James. The podcast of Arcade 81. Now that's where it is. All of Us Are Dead. Oh, so good. Yeah, I need somebody else. I need a one. None of these are ADHD friendly. You can't have 5 different things. You have to have one. See, I didn't watch What We Do in the Shadows.
I didn't either.
Man, there's too many ones. They're so good. Who knows? And favorite movies of the years, there's no way I'd remember. But Barbarian's really high up there. And, the best thing that's happened this whole entire year for sure is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
I was just gonna say, where do we put that in? Because I agree.
It's
Actually,
the best
it's
anything.
so good.
If you were like,
I
man,
agree.
best media of the year, that's the best one.
I actually agree. Yeah, it's amazing.
And like the music's so 90s in it too. It's so perfect. It's just like
when I was like, who's the band? I was like, Old 97s. Okay, that makes sense to me. It was perfect. Perfect casting.
So
Love that.
Oh man.
It opened with the Pogues Fairy Tale of New York, which is in my top 2 Christmas songs. I was like, what is happening? Perfect.
Man, it's so weird that your Disney Plus is different than ours, because if you were like Barbarian, the movies, it shouldn't be on our Disney Plus.
Yeah,
our Christian Minecraft server. No, Barbarian's so worth checking out, Hayden. It's so good. And when you do, let us know. Jessica and I can send you the podcast to listen to that delves deeper into it. And it's written by one of the guys from Wise Kids You Know, which is so weird. There's this trend of like comedians going on to make really good horror films. What's the other song in your top 2 Christmas songs?
Thank you for asking. That is, of course, the Kinks' Father Christmas.
Really?
It's so good.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays by NSYNC, of course.
And one of my new tops, of course, is Teen and Sarah, Make You Mine This Christmas.
Oh, I haven't heard that one yet.
It was featured in the Happy season.
Also, Jolly to the Core is a Christmas version of the main song from Descendants 1.
Nice.
I do know all the words. It is very good. Oh yeah, definitely going blind. If you don't look up anything about Barbarian, it's like a Upgrade Soul kind of recommendation where I'm like, don't.
That's exciting.
I haven't watched Pinocchio yet. I really want to so bad. It looks so good. The new Guillermo del Toro one. If I have time. I got less things to do. Man, yeah. There's so much that I would love an easier way to track everything, because video games and things too, because I just don't remember what happens this year to the next year at all. No idea.
I'm planning right now, at least, to have like a dedicated planner to the media, right? So every day I'm going to write down what I'm reading or what I've finished reading, what I'm watching, things like that, because I would like to look back at that. And maybe I'll find it tedious and I won't care in like a few years, but like,
maybe you'll like it,
and it gives me something to put down too, right? Because I don't feel like I've never been a journaler. I don't know that I can do that. I don't know that I can, dedicate every day and like write down something significant. But at least there I can be like, okay, I can keep track of like those sort of things. Yeah,
the only journal I keep is for my failings.
Fair.
But it's not like a what happened today. It's like, I feel this emotion. Why? Let's get into it.
It's a good thing to have.
I transcribed some of the music from GC's Pinocchio for my channel in case you watched the movie and like the music. Oh, cool. I'm sure I will like the movie and the music for sure. No question. Yeah, Disney Plus is wild. You can go from Mickey Mouse to Korean horror shows to Family Guy to Glee. That's so weird.
Oh my gosh. And can I just real quick, speaking of top whatever, okay, one of my top podcasts of this year, which doesn't even have that many episodes, is the new Glee one with Kevin McHale and Jenna Ushkowitz, and That's What You Really Missed is what it's called. It's so good. They're like calling out problematic stuff too. Like they're doing it in a real way. They're having people on and they're talking to them, but they're also like going through the episodes and like, okay, what wouldn't slide? It's 2022. What could we not
all
have
of
done?
it?
Yeah, and even Kevin's like, he's like, I wouldn't have been a wheelchair-bound kid. Absolutely not. He's like, here's the start of the problems, and here's some more. And it's so interesting. And as someone who was a big Glee fan back in the day, like it's really, really well done, and I like it a lot. So I
don't even know if I could go back and watch it.
Oh my gosh, if you went through the trauma of Glee, which that's what I call it. Because I had a love-hate relationship with that show. Like
I had the CDs. Like I remember
yes,
most of those mashups still.
100%. Yeah. Rumor has it Someone Like You was like the best one by the Treble Tones.
That's still my like songs.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, I mean, Nia killed it. Like, so good. So good.
I haven't checked it out. Has anyone seen the new Netflix Christmas Carol that has everyone thirsting over Scrooge? I have. Why are they thirsting on him?
What? I have not. Also,
I mean, it's good.
Okay.
It's a musical. It's fun.
We like that.
Yeah. Well,
we did it.
So we'll be here on Wednesday.
Yes.
Talking about, I have it written down, the name.
We're
the flesh one.
Yeah. I'm like, where is it? I have it near me.
A strip of flesh.
To strip the flesh. Here we are.
Yeah. And then we'll read the first 12 issues of Dan Slott's She-Hulk on Sunday, aka Christmas Day. We'll choose a time in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 2 or 3. So we'll post
Something
it.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Chris will be on Over New with me on Tuesday. And we'll talk about Gideon Falls.
And if you want to see me later today, you can check out the Comic Slayer channel, where I'm going to actually be talking about my 2023 reading goals with Mary M.
Hell yeah.
It will be at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. So
did you meet your reading goals this year?
I don't even remember what they were, honestly. But at least
300 or something.
Oh, okay, you meant like the number.
Goodreads,
I'm going through like specifics this time.
Okay.
But yeah, Goodreads, yeah. Well, I started at like 500. I changed it at some point throughout the year to 200, and I hit that. So I'm happy with that. I will also talk about the number.
I know I read 150. I know I did not put in all of them.
Yeah. That's good. And that's great.
Yeah. So I'll take it. This Tuesday, because the week after Christmas, I'm taking the whole week off. We'll see.
You deserve
it.
We'll
see. I'm doing it.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm making no plan.
Do it for yourself. Yes.
I'm supposed to. My homework is to just relax and to draw more, because I used to do that. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm getting back into drawing again.
I didn't know that about you.
I did.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Send me some of your art as you art.
I will.
I'd love to see
if I feel proud of it enough.
Well, I'll be proud of you because I can't do shit. So
all right,
you will impress me.
Thank you, James, for sharing the link.
Yeah, thank you, James.
All right, well, have a good rest of your Sunday. Check out Kristan later today, and I'll see y'all again soon.
And check out InStockTrades.com.
That's right. Merry Christmas. Merry